The fact that here are a 2 billion population between two groups. India is not one country, it's a civilization.
Correct.
It's a group of people, bring together from how many thousands of years back. Their value system, the culture, the language, how they connect with each other. 2 billion population is 25% of the total global population. And look at the GDP. Sheikh Hasina will not be extradited.
Correct.
That is my take. Because India has got all legal justification.
एक जमात-ए-इस्लामी ने रंगपुर कॉन्स्टिट्यूएंसी जीता है and Rangpur is a very very sensitive area for us.
Europe is trying to sell you technologically and I would say capital intensive products. Interim government is not the government. Government is of the people, for the people, by the people. Actually, it would have been nice had Raymond done it. But will this have the weightage and the sanctity of a deal which is to be ratified by the parliament? What is Jamaat-e? Jamaat-e is nothing but Pakistan. It's a different contour and color of Pakistan existing. It is the same Jamaat-e who carried out butchered, they carried out genocide of 3 million people, Bangladeshis. Bangladeshi Muslims, they are not actually anywhere close to Pakistani Muslim. Bangladeshi Muslim, they speak Bengali language. Bengali is too, that language is too emotional, very soothing, very simplistic, and very musical and rhythmic.
वंदे मातरम दोस्तों, मैवरिक जियोपॉलिटिक्स के आज के सेशन में आप सबका बहुत बहुत स्वागत है। चैनल को लाइक, शेयर और सब्सक्राइब जरूर कीजिए। आज हमारे साथ हैं हमारे गेस्ट मेजर जनरल सुधाकर जी सर, सीनियर जियोपॉलिटिकल एंड स्ट्रेटेजिक इंटरनेशनल अफेयर्स एक्सपर्ट। प्रणाम सर, हाउ आर यू डूइंग टुडे?
Thank you, because it's always a pleasure and it's very, very encouraging to get a call from you when you keep insisting, sir, aaj karenge, kal karenge, jaldi karo, sir.
Thank you so much, sir.
And Indian youth is bubbling with lots of curiosity. That is the need of the hour. Okay, the other day there was a podcast, somebody from Dallas, Vietnam, somebody was recording this thing. What are your analysis of EU and India FTA? How is it become a game changer of the geopolitics in the world order? तो वही सब बात करते करते पता नहीं कहाँ आके पहुंचे हमने. So it took me a very strategic kind of a journey in response to that question. And I brought about the fact that here are a 2 billion population between two groups. India is not one country, it's a civilization.
Correct.
It's a group of people, bring together from how many thousands of years back. Their value system, the culture, the language, how they connect with each other. 2 billion population is 25% of the total global population. And look at the GDP. The GDP is 25 trillion.
Absolutely.
Which global GDP is roughly around 113 trillion US dollar. 25 trillion था आपका कितना, कोई हिसाब करके मेरे को बताया था. 23 trillion. Sorry, 25 trillion, 23%. And mind you, these two blocks, I would say, European Union and India, they have the largest number of high and middle income group whose buying capacity is by far the largest. We discussed about it, I think, last time. And most interestingly, people haven't understood. You see, these two blocks, India is actually not focusing. India wants to go technologically, by leaps and bounds. But our labor intensive is actually driven by leather, textile, footwear, and you have handicraft, likewise, these kind of things. You have fishery, shrimps. They also go into that labor intensive kind of a thing here. So when you take into all these factors into consideration, what is Europe trying to sell? Europe is trying to sell you technologically and I would say capital intensive products. And those products, if technological transfer takes place without any glitch or hitch, then it's a win-win situation. Right. 66 countries are attached to it. So when we started talking about this, there was some discussion about the textile, the apparel, Bangladesh having an edge. But that edge is more or less, it is reduced less for the agreement which Bangladesh had with USA a day or two prior to the elections, I think 3 days back. Which has put them, India is 18%, Bangladesh from 20% has been revised to 19%. They will have
19%.
zero tariff on the garment, but subject to Bangladesh buying cotton and yarn from US.
From US.
Look at the riders, how they have been put. But is that enough for Bangladesh when we talk about this? And why has it been done in a hurried manner just prior to the elections?
Exactly.
Interim
That
government
raises
is
more
not
questions
the
actually.
government. Interim government is not the government. Government
Correct.
is of the people, for the people, by the
By
people.
the
Actually, it would have been nice had Raymond done it. But will this have the weightage and the sanctity of a deal which is to be ratified by the parliament, by the people of Bangladesh, their representative who have been elected? Now the point comes, has the election been free and fair? Where in the limited context? But limited context doesn't give you the holistic concept. The holistic concept is there has to be no non-inclusion. Awami League is a major political party of Bangladesh. They have been excluded completely, banned. I always thought, to be very honest with you, because Sheikh Hasina is sitting here in New Delhi, I always thought Awami League is a very strong party and they would do something to get the ban lifted. But when I thought through, I realized that in silence lies a domain of strategy. Let go. When things happen in life which are going against you, you let go. A time when stage will come which will be driven by the people's mandate and the people's aspiration, wherein the Awami League will be welcomed with open arms. Because
correct.
notwithstanding what these people are alleging, Jamaati. What is Jamaati? Jamaati is nothing but Pakistan. It's a
Correct.
different contour and color of Pakistan existing. It is the same Jamaati who carried out butchered, they carried out genocide of 3 million people, Bangladeshis. It's the
With
same
the
Jamaat
Pak army.
responsible for raping and lynching and murdering people, kidnapping almost more than 295,000, close to 300,000 people, women, girl, children. Okay, so it is the same Jamaati which was fighting on behalf of Pakistan army and was actually assassinating, killing people of Bangladeshi. Now, people also need to understand the difference between Bangladeshi Muslim and Pakistani Muslim. Bangladeshi Muslims, they are not actually anywhere close to Pakistani Muslim. Bangladeshi Muslims, they speak Bengali language.
Yeah.
Bengali is too, that language is too emotional, very
Correct.
soothing, very simplistic, and very musical and rhythmic. But in that lies that the huge potential of rebellion for truth, okay, freedom of communication, freedom of justice.
They
You
run
would,
extremely high on emotions, sir. They run
yeah, yeah.
extremely high on emotions. Punjabis, the Punjabi Muslim population, which is now in Pakistan, they are more realistic. They live in Alice. They are like Alice in Wonderland, but they have little
Well said.
realism with them.
Very well said. Very well said. Very Alice in Wonderland. I really come with you.
These guys on the other side of our border, on the eastern side, they are extremely emotional. थोड़ा सा भी अगर आप छिड़क दोगे तो पूरा आग लग जाएगा.
Oh, sensitive, very sensitive people.
Extremely sensitive, extremely.
So,
Good that
but
we are in between. We are level-headed.
yeah, the very composition of our people, South India, North India, Western India, Eastern India, Central India, the languages are more than 1800. 1800 dialects are there. 22 languages are in constitution. Look at the religion, 9 religions, out of which 4 are international or global religions. Okay. And you have 28 provinces, 8 union territories. Look at the ethnic tribes, more than 2600. Political parties, more than 2800. Look at the diversity. So the diversity is actually, it brings in lots of factor of accommodation. You accommodate each other to coexist. You share the grief and the woes and the happiness and the sorrows.
Correct.
It becomes a way of life. You live together. But going back to Bangladesh, what is of relevance is, yes, BNP has come back with a thumping majority. It was anticipated, it was expected. They were contesting for, I think, 292 seats and out of 300 seats. Out of 292, I couldn't actually see the latest figure, how many they have won. But I saw in one of the open sources more than 275 seats they have won. unless you have the exact figure.
हाँ.
So 275 out of 300 is definitely something a landmark victory.
It's a landslide victory. Yeah.
Okay, so and Jamaat is it's a coalition of 11 different parties, and the NCP, Citizen Party, which is a student body, they have also joined with them. They, I believe, they're trailing with 38 seats or something like that. This is what I came to know in the morning session of my back-to-back TV channels. But the fact is, so what? The comeback with majority fine, will they be able to give a consistent and continuous stable political leadership for the country to progress, to grow, and redress all the grievances of the people? What are the grievances? The grievances are there in the national referendum which is carried out. National referendum had almost 184 points out of 184, 164 points. Out of 164, they had shortlisted close to 80, 84 points. Now, in a referendum, you generally have one objective question. You don't have multiple questions. ये भी करेंगे, वो भी करेंगे, say yes or no. So for 84 questions, if the moot question, final summary is yes or no, a person who is voting for the referendum wants to say yes, will he be able to say yes for all? He may agree with some, he may not agree with some. So this is just, I would say, a cocktail of lies, and which is being taken advantage of by Yunus in order to go in for constitutional and multiple reforms. Will this become a mandate, real mandate for the elected party, is a matter which time will tell. I really don't know, because in absence of the people's representative having come to power, in absence of parliament, yes, one another central question is, should they go in for a bicameral system? At the moment, Bangladesh has got only one house. They don't have an upper house like we have. They have a lower house. So there is a requirement. So all these things, but the bigger issue that we need to see is that the Bangladesh, I see it as a problem, not as a solution. Yeah, please go ahead.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sir, I have two important notes, or rather, I'm just seeing कि एक जमात इस्लामी ने रंगपुर कॉन्स्टिट्यूएंसी जीता है, एंड रंगपुर इज अ वेरी वेरी सेंसिटिव एरिया फॉर अस. एंड सेकंड अपडेट इज BNP also has requested for the extradition of Sheikh Hasina.
Yeah, good, good. So these are the leverages. Jamaati has been able to create a leverage
Yeah.
which it can put pressure on the ruling party and also put pressure on the regional dynamics and the global dynamics. But before I answer this question, the sensitivity of Rangpur division dominated by Jamaitis, or Jamaiti has come to been elected there. And second question you asked was,
BNP has requested extradition of Sheikh Hasina.
look, firstly, second thing first. This is my take. Okay,
जी.
my take is Sheikh Hasina will not be extradited by
Correct.
that is my take. Because India has got all legal justification. The legal justification is that she is a political on kind of a political asylum. Okay, there is a clause. The extradition treaty says that if the member who is on asylum or on exile is actually a victim of the political causes or words to that effect, he or she, the host country, will always have an option not to extradite her. Okay, the
Right.
coming to now, anything is possible. They may put pressure, may do anything. My take on the whole issue related to this is, as soon as America goes in for a deal with regard to St. Martin Island, the whole idea is about St. Martin Island. They want to have a base. Whether BNP will be amenable or not, whether Bangladesh will be able to grip that particular piece of ground, it is to be ratified by the parliament. Whether it happens in immediate future or near future or in a distant future, it is a matter which will unfold gradually. It is too difficult to actually speculate at the moment or predict at the moment. or do any kind of speculation. Well, apart from that, there is a big thing which is happening. That big thing is there is a thing which is happening at the global level, there is a thing which is happening at the regional level, and there is also a thing happening at the local level, Bangladesh. At the global level, what is happening is that better late than never, USA has woken up out of this slumber, suddenly realized that there is something called the Thucydide trap. No superpower would like to lose its supremacy and authority. MAGA, make America great again. How does America continues to remain great again unless it pushes back China wherever they are trying to penetrate? So this is a great move, but late move. That's why I'm saying better late than never. Okay. When I say late move, what it means is in past couple of years, maybe from 2013 onwards, but people say that from 2004 onwards, Bangladesh has been consistently getting penetrated by China in multiple forms. Today, Bangladesh has committed some total of commitment as far as the funds are concerned, $38 billion. Out of $38 billion, close to 20 billion, maybe plus minus this side, that side, has already been applied, invested on ground in form of bridge across Padma, national highways, railway line, pipeline, hydropower project. Okay, then you have all the security projects. You have what is that name? Uh, Ketua is towards south of Bangladesh, where they have a submarine dockyard which has been built as on now. I'm given to understand there are more than one submarine of China which is already there. There is another one in a place called as Qutubdia. And the stock exchange of Dhaka has been taken over by about a year and a half back through a process of the what do you call that vendor processing and bidding. The state enterprise or state-owned enterprise consortium of Bank of China has taken over. In fact, our national stock exchange also had gone. It was outbidded by the Chinese stakeholders. And likewise, the Navy of Bangladesh, it is undergoing a transformation to assume the multi-domain kind of, three-dimensional forces capability. Not all navies have got this kind of capability. A least developed country having this kind, 82% of military hardware. Media is saying 72%. As per my research, when I joined the dots, I may be wrong. I'm open to correction. It is coming to 82%, particularly from 2020 to 2026. 82% of military hardware of Bangladesh have been imported from China at a subsidized cost. Any kind of training, joint exercises, or any kind of any training activity which is taking place, it is being sanctioned or sponsored by Chinese embassy. So there is a cost oversight. These kind of things are happening. So when these things happen, recently the ambassador of USA, Mr. Christensen, His Excellency, and the ambassador of China, they had open spat about the way China is going in for. There are more than 11 times. At places you find 5 to 6 delegations, but actually it is more than 10 to 11 delegations have gone to China in past 1.5 years' time, ever since August 2024. Why did they go there? They're trying to negotiate with China for a state-of-the-art aircraft, JF-17. If I'm not wrong, it's a fourth generation aircraft. They are dealing with China directly. They're also dealing with Pakistan to get that J-10C aircraft on which the PL-15E, that air-to-air missile, can be loaded and mounted. Okay, so they're going for two deals. Pakistan has gone in. The chief of the air staff of Pakistan and the chief of air staff of Bangladesh, they have met up with each other. There is an immediate requirement of training Bangladesh Air Force pilots. For that, the trainer aircrafts are not available to Bangladesh. Bangladesh, as of now, has got 50 or 58 or 56 aircrafts which are of vintage of MiG-21 F7 series. They are Chinese series, which are equivalent to MiG-21 series. All of them are outdated, they are obsolete, and they are not reliable. So they need to be replaced at the earliest. And therefore, you see, these kind of Pakistan is offering, there is a trainer aircraft by the name of Mushak. Mushak has been post haste in a hurried manner. Urgent supply is being done to Bangladesh. They are also creating, with the help of ISI, Lal Monirhat is the old Second World War, airfield, which is being developed into a latest modern airfield close to Siliguri corridor. There
Yep.
is an air defense coming up there, and the China is providing money. ISI is actually, through their vendor, the construction work has started. Similarly, towards Chittagong, one piece of land had been actually earmarked for India's defense industry during Sheikh Hasina's time. That piece of land has been given to China at some nominal cost. Tista project, which had been decided to be given to, it's a sensitive thing as far as India is concerned. It should have been given to India, and now it has been given to China. So these, when the ambassador of USA started calling them out, the Chinese embassy, almost they used the language of rebuking the diplomatic leader or the mission, the head. And that is how Christensen has gone on to say that these are all very dangerous signals. That is how he must have told the people in White House. That is how they've got a wake-up call. That is how they want to. They're talking about resetting ties and all that. Because it's not that easy. If China has penetrated so much, maybe America is looking for. There is a huge gas reserve of almost about 60 trillion cubic meter between Tripura and Bangladesh. China reportedly has already laid a big carried out survey of laying the pipeline. They're going across to Rakhine province, all along the western border of Myanmar. A pipeline has been laid right up to Sichuan province, going through Rewli, north of Kachin, between Myanmar and China. I'm talking about Sichuan, Yunnan province. Okay, so it is going up to that point. Through hydraulic pressure, they are transporting the gas. So these are the kinds of investment. More than that, you see, it has to be seen from a perspective of the strategic location of Bangladesh. The location is such, it is going to impede our very outlook, India's outlook of, Act East policy. India's trilateral, the highway we are building between India, Myanmar, and Thailand, 1,700-kilometer long highway. I am given to understand much of this stretch has already been developed, and the stretch of almost about 170, 180 kilometers are left in Myanmar between a place called as More, Tamu. Tamu is towards our side, More is towards their side, and from there towards Mandalay province of Myanmar, it's around a stretch of around 170 kilometers. That stretch is to be developed. Once that is developed, then the trilateral would be done. But if such things are happening in Bangladesh, this itself is going to be impaired. The your BIMSTEC is headquartered in Dhaka itself. Your SARC, which is a non-functional entity today, is located in Dhaka. So all these things are going to be they are going to be subverted, or they are going to be imperiled unless some calculated, calibrated measure is taken in form of short, medium, and long term, which I suppose is happening. People, uh, the leadership, they are applying themselves, they're handling it with care. And but let's see in times ahead. Hope is one thing which cannot be discounted. We are very hopeful. Things will look up. We are investing proximity, engagement, and also reciprocal kind of relationship. We have incidentally lent how much? Almost about 7.8 billion line of credit to Bangladesh. Okay, look at that. And also look at the power supply from Nepal, Bhutan are transiting through India, and India itself is a major power provider to Bangladesh. They buy rice from us at a discounted price.
Sir, these are all negotiation pointers.
Leverages. Yes.
Now let's connect our dots to the earlier discussion that we had on Sheikh Hasina's extradition. I believe that's a pressure point Bangladesh is trying to build. Because एक और चीज है, उनका वाटर ट्रीटी इज अप फॉर रिन्यूअल इन दिसंबर 2026, जो
Not
1996 में एच डी
February.
देवेगौड़ा ने साइन किया था विद शेख हसीना द देन प्राइम मिनिस्टर ऑफ बांग्लादेश. इनका ट्रीटी, हमारा ट्रीटी खत्म होगा दिसंबर 2026 में. नो, दे मस्ट बी प्रेशराइजिंग इंडिया कि आप या तो बांग्ला, या तो इसको, शेख हसीना को हमको रिटर्न दे दो, या तो आप ट्रीटी को कंटिन्यू रहने दो, बिकॉज इंडिया वाज सेइंग कि हम ट्रीटी को वापस से अपने पास ही रखेंगे, उसका पानी, ज्यादातर पानी।
हाँ रहेगा बांस ना बांसुरी वो रहता ना इंडिया विल बोथ द थिंग्स इंडिया विल विन will leverage on it is not December 2026 I had read somewhere in number of places it is February 2026 the
फेब्रुवरी इज नाउ सर।
well, we exactly is that barrage what is it Faraka
फरक्का फरक्का।
Faraka barrage, it is coming to its terminal end towards end of February. Maybe you are right. I need to reconfirm. But the issue is this is a leverage. Like we have actually made use of Indus Water Treaty, put it into abeyance.
Yes,
So similarly, this also can be. So we need to identify such like kind of entities. 54 rivers are flowing into Bangladesh from India. Each of them is a leverage.
या,
Okay,
करेक्ट।
so there are a lot of things. There are a large number of people coming to India for medical treatment. That also is a leverage.
वो तो अभी बंद ही कर दिया हमने। आई थिंक वी हैव क्लोज दैट सिंस अ लॉन्ग टाइम, वी आर
It
नॉट
is
गिविंग एनी मेडिकल वीजास, आई थिंक।
fine. The visas have stopped, I think. Yes,
या,
you are right. But the issue here is, will he be able to sustain?
अब देखते हैं तारिक रहमान क्या करेंगे, मतलब व्हाट स्ट्रेटेजी ही ब्रिंग्स इन, व्हाट,
So,
आई एम श्योर either मोदी जी इज गोइंग टू गो टू बांग्लादेश फॉर हैंडशेक विद हिम, और ही इज गोइंग टू कम टू
so
न्यू
let's
दिल्ली।
see. Let's see where he visits. Whether he goes to China or India first, or he goes to US first. These will be clear indicators where the loyalty lies. But
और पाकिस्तान फर्स्ट।
Pakistan first. But as far as America is concerned, behind the official and formal agenda, they are looking out for places for couple of issues. One is oil market. Number two, defense product market. Number three, pharmaceutical. Number four, narcotics. Number five, a rare earth element. Bangladesh is a potential market for the defense product. America will always demand that instead of buying this defense product, what happens when they buy a fourth generation, 4.5 generation aircraft, then actually it makes the host country binding. They go in for a binding commitment of strategic dependency. The dependency is not for 1 year or 5 years or 10 years. It is something close to, may not be eternal, but for a long period. That has to be understood. Same goes with the Pakistan. Turkey is making a defense corridor. Okay, so Qatar is providing money, and you have all kinds of jihadi elements over there. So this is as far as the first question is concerned. The leverages will come up for sure, but India will play its card very deftly. I'm very confident because without India, you can deny anything between two countries, but you cannot deny and defeat the geography. Geography is so very important. And Bengalis are Bengalis. They are not like Pakistani or like you said rightly, they are not Punjabi Muslims. Punjabi Muslims have an orientation of the Arabic and the Persian culture, whereas Bengalis, they are driven by the Bengali culture, the language they
करेक्ट,
speak.
करेक्ट।
Okay. So, therefore, at the moment, we'll rest this question at that only. Let's see, time will tell us what is going to happen. But my take is Sheikh Hasina is not going to be extradited.
एक्सट्रेडेटेड नहीं, नहीं, वो तो होगा ही नहीं। मतलब इट्स लाइक अ ट्रम्प कार्ड दैट वी हैव,
It's a trump card, correct.
एंड वी कांट हैंड ओवर दैट ट्रम्प कार्ड टू देम।
It's like His Holiness Dalai Lama in our country.
या, एब्सोल्युटली
So,
इक्विवेलेंट टू दैट, इफ नॉट।
and second thing India has to do that this what is it international tribunal they have criminal ICC tribunal they have penalized her for life sorry um, the death. Okay, she has been penalized to death actually, and also there is a life sentence, something like this. There are a number of awards by.
आईसीजे, इंटरनेशनल कोर्ट ऑफ जस्टिस।
No, this is not ICJ. This is
ओके।
uh, 2010. Sheikh Hasina had got this particular thing from the ICJ. This is called ICC, in International Criminal Court. Now, International Criminal Court in Bangladesh, these are region specific. They are delegated and allocated those kind of sanctions or authority to carry out trial, take people to justice. These Jamaitis. Why has the current situation unfolded this manner? Because Sheikh Hasina started trying out the Jamaitis and started sentencing them. So that created the uproar actually. The same Jamaitis are getting into the mainstream political ecosystem. So now the country has to decide whether the Jamaitis have to be subjected to trial or not. That ICC, relevance of ICC and holding it good in the rules-based international order, will Bangladesh be able to welcome it again, like it happened in Sheikh Hasina's time? If it is so, because trying out Sheikh Hasina in a court, international court, which was mandated to do particular thing. The mandate given was to try out those people who were the criminals, who had conspired to kill, carry out genocide, rape people. They have got evidence, proofs. Large number of them have been sentenced to death. So now, same court trying out Sheikh Hasina, who is a political victim, under the same mandate, it stands to dispute. Okay, so the start point technicality doesn't actually give that kind of strength and stamina to the entire issue. Now, coming to this is Sheikh Hasina's thing that we have discussed. Now, you come to the first issue that you raised was Sheikh Hasina, and the first issue was, what is the point?
Jamaat-e-Islami coming close to Rangpur.
Jamaat-e-Islami. Now, Jamaat-e-Islami, Rangpur. This is definitely a very sensitive point. What is Jamaat-e-Islami? Jamaat-e-Islami is Pakistan. Pakistan is being hammered nice and properly as far as their country is concerned by their own countrymen, by the economics, by the constitutional crisis and criticality. Now, gradually you find Asim Munir has been dropped like a hot potato or a brick suddenly from the lap of Donald Trump. It has been dropped. He's not there. Neither he is there in that the Silicon meeting which took place,
Pact
Pacilas
Silica.
Pact Silica, nor was he there for any other important things which are happening. Now I am hopeful and optimistic that Donald Trump would be coming for the Quad meeting in India, which is scheduled this year itself. And if that those things happen and USA is back to its main track of Indo-Pacific stability and security and freedom of navigation, then perhaps Pakistan will have a very downsized and marginalized kind of a role and the kind of affinity which it was enjoying, because there are things happening inside the domestic constituents of America. So now coming to the Rangpur division, it definitely is a high sensitive thing. Jamaati coming to dominance here.
Sir, before this Rangpur point, on the utility of Asim Munir, as you rightly mentioned, इनके पार्लियामेंट में ख्वाजा आसिफ said we are a toilet paper.
Oh, yes, yes, yes,
Can
yes.
you imagine a country accepting it in broad daylight that we are actually a toilet paper and we have been used like it? I mean, hail the Pakistanis. Thank you. You are outside of India. You have moved out of India in 47. We are saved. We are saved. Otherwise, these people would have been part of India and we needed to carry your legacy. अच्छा हो गया ये लोग अलग हो गए. बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद.
And सबसे बढ़िया है डिफेंस मिनिस्टर ऑफ
डिफेंस मिनिस्टर सर ये
द
बोल रहा है उनके पार्लियामेंट में बोल रहा है कि हम टिश्यू पेपर है. माय गॉड, हैड इट बीन इन इंडिया सरकार गिर जाती हमारी सरकार.
नहीं
हमारी
नहीं,
सरकार गिर जाती भारत में.
इन वन ऑफ द आर्टिकुलेशन ही गोज टू से कि बलोच लिबरेशन आर्मी के जो उनके जो दे कॉल देम एज टेररिस्ट बट आई कॉल देम एज फ्रीडम फाइटर्स,
करेक्ट करेक्ट, दे
और
आर फ्रीडम
तहरीक
फाइटर्स.
तालिबान पाकिस्तान का जो उनके जो दे कॉल देम एज टेररिस्ट, नाउ आई कॉल देम दे आर फाइटिंग फॉर देयर इंडिपेंडेंस. He was giving the breakdown of weapons, ammunition, rig, and dresses. He said the sum total of everything they hold on them is equivalent to $20,000. One soldier is bearing a equipment and rifle, and he went on to describe the kind of, the optical device that equipment has. That itself is costing $4,200.
Sir,
The
we
one.
should read between lines. Pakistan has given up on Balochistan. We should read between lines.
No, see, the fault lines are emerging, you see, Vikas, mainly because of a couple of issues. One issue is the political divide has started. In the political party, there is so much of disgruntlement against Munir because Munir has actually, rested a Constitution Amendment 27. This has actually thrown open the unitary command. There is no democracy. the nuclear button having come under his finger, which earlier was under Shehbaz Sharif,
He
that
can't be impeached. He can't be impeached.
there is a lifelong immunity from all kinds of
Exactly,
no
exactly.
accountability, no transparency. Judiciary, Supreme Court has been marginalized. He has created a federal constitution court that is equivalent to a Supreme Court. He has put the political authorities in the judiciary system. He's keeping those people who will say yes for yes. He is not taking people who will contest his decisions. These are very, very dangerous things happening.
Yeah, yeah.
So,
And
so
that is why he has invested in his vest of bulletproof one.
absolutely, I agree.
बुलेट प्रूफ दिन भर पहन के घूमता है, इसीलिए घूमता है ना, उसको पता है कि उसको कभी भी ठोक देंगे, पाकिस्तानी ठोक देंगे उसको.
नहीं नहीं, कल कल की ये था. आई वॉज कॉल्ड बाय वन ऑफ द इंटरनेशनल चैनल, व्हाट हैपेंड टू बाजवा, जनरल बाजवा. दे सेड कि बाथरूम में गिरा है. मैं कि
ऐसा
नहीं,
स्टोरी आया कि बाथरूम में गिर गए, वो सर पे लग गया उनके.
मेरा आई गिव माय narrative and account. I said कि no, there has been a premeditated attack. Why? Because army itself earlier used to have more than one group. They are divided into subgroups, but fortunately, all of them are for a cause. That cause is stagnation. Army is such a pyramidical structure, particularly the colonial legacies, the armies which have taken over from the colonial outside. You see, what happens is when the chief of the army staff doesn't actually retire after his tenure, then he's blocking one post on the top. When that one post is blocking, there are 4 or 5, there are 10 corps commanders waiting to rise up to that post, or at least one chief of staff. When the chief of staff is not getting promoted, there are 10 corps commanders or 11 corps commanders. Their aspiration level, because keeping that Maslow's theory alive. I
Correct.
mean, you are educated, you will understand in management. Maslow's theory is very, very pertinent as far as the armed forces hierarchy and motivation and morale is concerned.
Correct.
That has caused actually disgruntlement, and it is happening far too long. You see,
Huh?
got
If
an
there are no promotions, who will work? I mean,
who work.
imagine there is a war with India and there are no promotion. बस मेरे को तो कुछ मिलना ही नहीं वाला, मैं क्यों वॉर लड़, तू लड़ ले,
बस
तू ही फील्ड मार्शल है, तू ही कर ले सब कुछ,
कर ले.
तेरे पास वैसे भी न्यूक्लियर का बटन है, चला दे.
बाजवा के टाइम में 2 एक्सटेंशन हो गया, उसका ब्लॉक हो गया. मतलब आप मान के चलिए 3 3 6 साल, 6 साल से ज्यादा रहा है वो. उसके बाद मुनीर आया, मुनीर का टेन्योर खत्म हुआ, फिर से उसको एक्सटेंशन. वो तो परमानेंट फील्ड मार्शल हो गया.
हाँ,
ही इज द CDS, ही इज द चीफ, ही इज एवरीथिंग.
he is everything.
He is not created another man who
अल्लाह
will.
ताला हो गया वो पाकिस्तान का. सब कुछ वही है.
So now what next? What next? My take on the whole issue is that I would recommend that India identifies, we need to filter out what are relevant to our national interest. The relevance to our national interest are Act East policy. We have the trilateral highway must come up, towards which is contributing to the Act East policy. We do not want a revival of the insurgency. जैसे उल्फा था ना पहले, 4 कैंप होते थे बांग्लादेश में, वो नहीं होना चाहिए. We also want Siliguri corridor not to be threatened the way it is being threatened from Rangpur division, like the way you brought out. We also don't want that Pakistan to operate from the soil of Bangladesh. So I would recommend through your channel to the government of India कि आप ध्यान दीजिए जहां पे स्रोत है ना, पानी जहां से, बाढ़ जहां से आता है. बाढ़ कहां से आ रहा है? बाढ़ आ रहा है रावलपिंडी टैप से. उस टैप के ऊपर ध्यान दीजिए. प्रेशर ये करो. एज वी आर टॉकिंग, यू एंड मी आर टॉकिंग, देयर इज अ मीटिंग टेकिंग प्लेस इन मेक्सिको कॉल्ड FATF meeting. Now, has India, government of India, taken adequate evidence of Pahalgaon and produced it in the FATF? That there was a Pakistani hand. They were the ones, rather than making a picture 10 years from now, which will have no meaning and relevance. It is actually, we have to strike the iron when it is red hot.
Correct.
Have our people gone there with the evidence, produced it with the FATF? Have we been able to consult with like-minded countries, mobilize opinion, world opinion against Pakistan, and get this country back to the blacklist, or if not blacklist, at the grey list?
Grey
This
list.
is the second
दिल्ली
thing.
में जो ब्लास्ट हुआ सर, उसका भी एविडेंस जा रहा है पाकिस्तान को थ्रू दुबई. इट इज थ्रू टू पाकिस्तान. वी शुड प्रोवाइड दैट एविडेंस. आई मीन सब्सटेंशिएट और हो जाएगा.
Second thing is, after the hammering we have given them during Operation Sindoor, You see, they have started rebuilding, reconstructing, created a women organization, जैश मोहम्मद का उधर लश्कर ए तैयबा सुनने में मिला कि वो भी एक शुरू कर दिया है. Part of the women organization, they have successfully managed to infiltrate into India through Bangladesh. 15 टन का जो एमोनिया नाइट्रेट था, ये खबर आया है कि ये 15 के 15 टन जो है बांग्लादेश से स्टार्ट होके थ्रू द फेंसिंग और थ्रू अनफेंस्ड एरिया दे हैव कम इनटू इंडिया. 3 टन तक ये पकड़े गए हैं. 12 टन जो है ये राजस्थान में के नगौर डिस्ट्रिक्ट के आसपास वो खबर आया था, वो पकड़ा गया है विथ डेटोनेटर, फ्यूज, कॉडेक्स एटसेट्रा एटसेट्रा. तो इसके अलावा 30 कार जो है खबर मिले थे कि दे हैड बॉट 30 सेकेंड हैंड कार्स टू बी यूज फॉर car bombing, oblique Fidaini attack, etc., etc. Have they also been apprehended? We need to actually look at all this. But what I am coming to is there are multiple ways of putting pressure on Pakistan. First and foremost thing is this country is getting the largest volume of hawala funds transferred. ये जो ट्रांजेक्शन हो रहा है कैसा हो रहा है? 2 दिन पहले मैं कहीं पढ़ रहा था कोई लिटरेचर, आजकल ट्रांजेक्शन का जो मेथड एंड मीडियम है वो इस किस्म के हो गए. इट इज क्लोज टू एनक्रिप्टेड ट्रांसफर ट्रांजेक्शन. मतलब nobody can actually decipher, nor can you decode. Under these circumstances, how do you decode? We need to actually choke them where it hurts them. Number
Where it
one.
hurts them, yeah,
Number
correct.
two, they have developed the expertise. Hamas, 8,000 Hamas came prior to Operation Sindoor. They were seen in the training areas of Bahawalpur. 8,000 Hamas. Some of these Hamas are seen in Bangladesh now. सो ये जो हमाज आ रहे हैं, रह रहे हैं, इनका जो सबूत है ये लेके दिखाना चाहिए. बिकॉज थिंग्स आर हॉट इन मिडिल ईस्ट.
Yep,
गाजा स्ट्रिप इज स्टिल बॉइलिंग. उनको
correct.
दिखना हमाज का जो एरिया ऑफ इन्फ्लुएंस है, इट हैज स्टार्टेड स्प्रेडिंग फ्रॉम द गाजा स्ट्रिप, फ्रॉम गाजा टू पाकिस्तान टू बांग्लादेश.
Yep,
Okay, so this must be highlighted. Third and most important thing is use of biological and chemical warfare. ये जो राइजिन मिला है, it's a very dangerous thing. आज राइजिन मिला, which is the poisonous kind of substance, more poisonous than cyanide. It can enter into your kitchen without you coming to know.
correct.
Okay, it is so dangerous. Similarly, you never know. They may be using the dirty bomb. Dirty bomb doesn't require any technical or any Einstein theory to develop a modern weapon system. Normal uranium, with very limited understanding and knowledge, I'm saying, if it is scrubbed or rubbed on a jean or something, the trouser or the clothing textile will absorb some radiation elements of the uranium.
You're right.
And आपके घर में प्लम्बर आता है, इलेक्ट्रिशियन आता है, और कोई मेड आएंगे, ये जो लोग आके काम करके जाते हैं लोगों के घर में, they can easily actually leave behind something which will carry have radiation impact.
Yeah, yeah,
It will lead to
absolutely.
blindness, it will lead to nausea, it will lead to indigestion, acidity, muscle atrophy, brain will start dysfunctioning, those kind of things. And most important thing is that apart from all this, we need to look out for the literature. It's very, very important. There are Urdu literatures which are being publicized. The education must come under one central agency, I personally feel, as a long-term measure. Education, there is nothing, times are changing. There is no need for madrasa education. I personally feel it must be brought from the concurrent state level, concurrent list to the central level. Education should be centralized.
Yep,
One country, one education syllabus, and scientific orientation should be given. That scientific temperament must be built. People who are going to madrasa for religion-based training, you look back to Article 54 or something, where I don't want to, for the sake of soldiering spirit, I don't want to actually go in for, parochial and highlight Hindu religion, how it has been denied the basic privilege of training. Okay. And the madrasa, if you're having training facility and justifying existence of madrasa for religious training, well, why don't you have it for all religions? You have all the major religions in the country. Why only for one particular religion? So therefore, it brings to,
absolutely.
therefore, there is a requirement to adopt some kind of a long-term perspective plan. UCC is one of them. UCC is for common laws. Okay. So, and similarly, we need to actually put our head together, take the state administration, their leadership into confidence, and for the sake of national security, stop wasting very, very important and costly hours in and the exchequer money in parliament sessions and waste everyone's time. Because what happens in parliament today, with the help of a smartphone with the soldier on the front line, he gets to know where his credibility, his honesty, his dedication, his commitment, his selfless sacrifice he is making, it is reaching up to him. He has started, actually, these things have started getting into his head. He started asking questions. Are you doubting my integrity and my honesty? I'm
सर
here
आप
at
बुक पे देखिए, आप बुक पे देखिए कितना बड़ा इन्होंने हंगामा कर दिया जनरल नारायण की बुक पर। मतलब दे हैव वेस्टेड सो मच ऑफ प्रेशियस आवर्स। वो बुक रिलीज नहीं हुए, इट इज नॉट इन पब्लिक डोमेन, इट इज नॉट विद द पब्लिशर ऑल्सो। वो एक कॉपी है, उसको एमओडी ने अप्रूव नहीं किया और उस पर भी इतना बड़ा हंगामा कर दिया। दे हैव वेस्टेड सो मेनी आवर्स, सो मच ऑफ पार्लियामेंट्स क्रूशियल मनी। पता नहीं, ये सब का हिसाब मांगना चाहिए इन पार्टियों से,
So
मतलब।
now your time is getting to its end state. So finally, allow me to
यस
just
सर।
sum up by saying that India should be mindful of the devil's triangle, that is China, Pakistan,
करेक्ट।
Bangladesh, and adopt a very effective countermeasure. Identify the red lines.
बिल्कुल।
Okay, and take appropriate measure. Maybe something what we have seen in the Dhurandhar movie, because that is going to pay dividends. The time has come. You cannot wait and watch.
या
You need to do something
वी हैव
meaningful.
टू बी प्रोएक्टिव लाइक इजराइल।
Correct. Number two, there is a time. This is my thought here, because I may be wrong, because times are changing. वो था टाइम जब वो एक गाल में आके कोई थप्पड़ मारा, आप दूसरे गाल दिखा दिए. Now our doctrine has undergone change from strategic restraint to strategy of deterrence. Deterrence by punishment. Okay. पहले बीच में ये भी आया था, deterrence by denial. मतलब कोविड मीन्स हमने किया है, नहीं किया है, नहीं किया है यार, हमारा काम नहीं है. That stage is over. Now we have to talk in terms of deterrence of punishment. And in the punishment, when you punish something, था हिंदुस्तान का फिलोसॉफी और डॉक्ट्रिन ये कहता है कि जब आप कोई लड़ाई में कोई जमीन या कोई लैंड को कैप्चर करते हो, यू डोंट ऑक्यूपाई दैट लैंड, यू कम बैक.
या
In 77, 78, 79 years of our independence, close to 79 years, whatever conflicts we have participated in, we have never captured and held that ground. We have always returned it to the host country, okay, or the aggressor. But the time has come, stop becoming too Gandhism.
या एब्सोल्युटली।
Time has come, you need to assert yourself, hold it. Behave like Russians. 20% of the land, these are hard-earned monies. Does it mean to say that the life of the soldiers who have been lost on the battlefield are that cheap? There is also a price to
चाइना
be.
हैज टेकन आवर लैंड सर, अनलेस वी टेक द लैंड ऑफ पाकिस्तान दे विल नेवर लर्न। ये हर बार लश्कर और हर बार ये ये जैश ए मोहम्मद करते ही रहेंगे। इनको पता, इनको तब पता चला जब पंजाब की इनकी जमीन जाएगी।
Correct. Third thing is the forces inimical to India's growth story and interest will always try to draw India into some kind of a long drawn conflict, be it in Bangladesh or with Pakistan. Situation will be so created, you cannot trust anybody. So respect all, suspect all, and inspect all, and they take the appropriate course of action. Fourth
सर आई नीड
thing,
टू राइट दिस डाउन। सॉरी सर, यू नीड टू रिपीट दैट। व्हाट इज दैट?
I said
रेस्पेक्ट
respect
ऑल,
all,
सस्पेक्ट द।
suspect all, inspect all, then
सर दैट्स अ
decide.
गुड पंचलाइन सर, आई रिमेंबर दिस।
Then you have to, next is, look at the place from where the flood is coming, flood of terrorism. They are trying to divert attention from western border to the eastern flank of India
या
and keep India tied down, bleed India so that it cannot progress, bleed India to death the way they are doing with Russia.
करेक्ट।
This will not work. So you have to understand, because the new government is going to be already elected. They will be in power in Bangladesh. We have to go in for deep engagements. For deep engagement, we need to show deep pockets. We need to, if we could do with Sri Lanka and with Maldives, I don't think Bangladesh will be very difficult to be handled. It is one of the countries which has got the geography, contiguity of the geography. They are our people. They speak Bengali language. They're dependent on us, power, water. Look at the rice. Rice they eat, it is going from India at a cheaper rate. All these things are going. हरी मिर्च है ना, हरी मिर्च के बिना कोई बंगाली खा नहीं सकता है.
नहीं कर
हरी
सकते
मिर्च आता है हिंदुस्तान से.
सर, आई एम अ बंगाली, आई नो दैट। हम लोग को साग भी अगर खाना है, साग, वी नीड अ चिली।
यू नीड
उसके
ए
बगैर
चिली।
साग भी पेट में नहीं जाएगा।
और सरसों का तेल है ना, मस्टर्ड ऑयल।
करेक्ट।
Mustard oil is the medium of cooking. You
एब्सोल्युटली।
have abundance of mustard oil produced and of different grades and qualities.
एब्सोल्युटली।
That also would be going. And what we are getting from Bangladesh is hilsa. हिल्सा लाने के लिए आपके पास वियतनाम है, मलेशिया है, इंडोनेशिया है, आपका सिंगापुर में भी हार्वेस्टिंग स्टार्ट हो गया है। एंड यू कैन ऑल्सो हैव एन एक्सटेंडेड आउटरीच विद अंडमान हैविंग कबाब सो वेल। एंड सो देयरफॉर, without drying out anything, diplomacy and dialogue require strategic patience. India should not get into any kind of because this is like a swamp, Bangladesh.
या।
If you get in there, it will be difficult for you to come out. This
करेक्ट।
is what the enemy is wanting. So without, वो कहता ना कि ऐसा आप बांस को यूज करो ताकि सांप मर जाए, बांस ना टूटे। ये आपका खेल खेलना है। और पाकिस्तान के साथ यू हैव टू कीप बिल्डिंग अप प्रेशर, कीप isolating Pakistan, and keep engaging the Taliban. The enemy of enemy will always be your friend. Always go in for this thing. And as far as the Iran is concerned, we have to actually go in for some strategic engagement with USA, because Chabahar is a very, very, they have to be explained. USA, Donald Trump, and the decision makers have to understand the only way to counter Gwadar is to operationalize Chabahar. North-South corridor is fine. It is 7,200 kilometers from Chabahar, going right up to Moscow through Caspian Sea and multimodal transportation system. They have carried out successful transportation of coal and host of other material from Russia at a cheaper rate. But the fact remains, Gwadar is Gwadar, 40 years lease.
Yep.
So how is US going to have a counter strategy? Are they going to go in for a direct confrontation with Chinese at Gwadar? Certainly not. In geopolitics, these are the means and methods to counter things like Gwadar and the CPEC which has come up in Pakistan. The best way to handle Pakistan is to look for the primary sources of their genesis, their survival, their sustenance. Their genesis is not two-language theory or two-nation theory. Their genesis is artificially created. I call it as a genetic disorder. That genetic disorder has to be clipped permanently. That, malignant tumor, the cancer has to be clipped. How do you clip it? By hitting hard at the decision maker, Rawalpindi, chief of the army staff.
करेक्ट। जीएचक्यू।
Okay, when
आपको
I talk
जीएचक्यू हिट करना पड़ेगा।
about army staff, it is the ISI also. This
यस।
time, it is now or never. If you
यस।
don't take decision, rather than looking at Pakistan occupied Jammu Kashmir, वो अपने आप आएंगे। आप इनको
बिल्कुल।
संभालिए।
बिल्कुल सर।
ठीक है नहीं, इनको आप करो जो लगातार ये गेम को फैला रहे हैं। दूसरी बात, जो पैसा आ रहा है अलग अलग जगह से, हवाला फंड, इसका ट्रांजैक्शन कैसे हो रहा है। तीसरा, चाइना, द सैटेलाइट, द बाइडू सिस्टम आर्किटेक्चर, it is providing surveillance, it is providing connectivity. The optical fiber which they have laid by 31st December 2021 from Chengdu to Rawalpindi, keep an eye on that. Try to choke it. And last but not the least is the defense products which they are making or they claim to be making, and they're selling it to other countries. These are all misnomers, misleading information. They do not have the capacity to make even fauda. The sabal hai na, sabal. Shawl bolte hain. That they also can't make today. Even a safety pin cannot be made in Pakistan. Leave alone these big, big things here.
सर
Okay, इसके
टॉयलेट
लिए
पेपर
पैसा
बनता होगा।
toilet paper बनना होगा. So with that, I would actually end. Let not India, lower its guard. Anything
करेक्ट।
can happen at any time. Our NSA and people at the highest level, the leadership in the political dispensation, the armed forces, the security apparatus, everyone is doing a profound job. Let's all support them and give them the right kind of, information, if we can, as citizens, to prevent any mishap taking place inside the country or outside the country. That's all from my side. Thank you. Back to you, please.
Thank you so much, sir. I think we are already past our time, and you providing so much of time for our new channel. It's like these are gold, sir, gold, gold standard. Thank you so much, sir. And I
Thank
would
you.
request our viewers to please like, share, and subscribe. And if you have any comments, please feel free to drop in your comments. With that, I would like to end this session and thank you so much, Major General Sudhakar ji. Always a pleasure to have you in our show and showering us with all your gyan. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you. Thank you, because all the very best. I'm
Thank
rushing
you.
for the channel, so
जी,
kindly bear with.
thank you so much, sir. जय हिंद, भारत माता की जय। Thank you. Keep watching and please subscribe and like our channel. Thank you.